All right. It looks like we are live.
Live.
Thank you so much for joining us on Sunday service with the Morrisons. We are here tonight and we're going to talk about peace. So make sure that you are ready. We are so excited to be here. We missed last week, so we're going to come back this week strong. So let's talk about peace, baby.
We actually missed a lot. We had the 9/11. We didn't come on that weekend. That stuck us at a definitely deep space.
911.
Yeah. Um, we both from the East Coast, so we have family that experienced it personally and things of that nature. And me being on standby in the military did also. So since then, quite a bit has happened.
Yeah.
But we mainly want to focus on peace. Let us know where you're looking in from. Tammy represent
Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah. I represent Brooklyn. Um, and we're out here in the greater Seattle area
In the
now,
Pacific Northwest.
Pacific Northwest, right?
Mhm.
We just decide we want to set roots, travel, what have you. The weather out here is pretty good today. A little bit too wet for Tammy, but it drizzles here. They don't
Not
really
too
pour like
chilly.
the East Coast. It's in the low 60s, so it's not bad. The humidity's a little. Let us know where you're looking in from, what it's like, where you're at. Tap the screen. If you're on TikTok, you can send whatever you want to send for us. The roses we got set up there.
And you can send us stars on Facebook.
Yeah, and get in the inbox and let us know what you like to hear, what you like to talk about. But we picked peace because we know a lot of people struggle in life to get peace, and sometimes you don't even know that you don't have peace because you you, you settle so long, and we've all been there at
Yeah.
one point or another in life, whether it been a bad relationship or it's been a job, it's been family, it's been friends. You know, I just had a family member recently tell me, and we're both retired military, and sometimes the younger folks don't realize, uh, um, just because they outrank me in the military, they don't have anything on this salty dog. I had a birthday, by the way, that I'm still celebrating because we do 30 days of celebration, so you can drop whatever you want for that too. But it's like she said something that stuck with me. Thank you for the
The love, Victoria.
something stuck with me. She said because uh, I have a child that's a young adult that decide to step back for whatever reason, and she went on and said, "Oh, you have to do counseling. You have to do this. You have to." And I said, "Listen, at some point in life," and I had to pull. I'm older than you card too, and indirectly, and and uh, and like I said, she's a beloved cousin that I first time talking to her really. But my family from the deep south of Mississippi, we hail from long time ago, Mississippi and North Carolina. And she said, "Yeah, you got to get counseling, what have you." I said, "Well, at some point in life, you have to realize you have more time behind you, possibly, than in front of you. So you have to be that person that do whatever it takes to get your peace." We travel halfway around the world to meet each other halfway around the country to find that peace. Because me and Tammy both, we bounce off of each other for that peace. We support one another. We're able to be best friends, talk about whatever we need to talk about, and that's important. We're an outlet for each other, and if you don't have that, you should consider. And some people are like Some of my family, they prefer to be alone. Like I have a brother, but if that's your thing, that's your thing. But to find to find somebody that you can do it with, it's a big deal. It's a good
Yes.
thing. But
Just being able to do life together,
right,
because, we both, when we met, we were at a place where, we had been abused by our spouses. And we really were trying to find peace. We weren't even looking to meet anybody. I was not looking to meet anybody but me. That's what I was trying to meet when I moved across the country. And when I met David, it was a bonus. And because I wasn't looking for anybody. I just was looking for myself. I was looking for peace, and I was looking, for, what I hadn't had, which was peace. And so when we met and I recognized, that he was a side of peace for me, it was priceless, because, my children, my children were grown. And so, one thing about children when they grow up, they got to do their own thing. And as a parent, you have to step back and allow that. You be there as a support person for them. And I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about if they need to have a conversation, they need to bounce things off of you, different things like that. But your relationship changes when they grow up. And so, for me, I needed peace, and I just wanted, I was actually just trying to find myself, and once I started seeing, myself and learning a lot of things about me, then I was able to open the door to having somebody else. And when David and I met, we knew that, we were compatible, and we knew that we were each other's person. Even even all the stuff that we have been through, all the hell that we went through in relationships. And y'all, y'all, we don't talk about it a lot, but we went through some hell with those other people that were in our life. And so, you know, another thing I want to make sure that people know is that just because you've gone through hell in another relationship, don't think that there's not somebody else out there that
right.
is compatible with you, that that you can love, that will love you back. Because I actually was having a conversation with a friend of mine just a few minutes ago, and I said, David and I plan to leave here together. I said, because I said, but if we don't, I said, and if he happens to leave
The
here,
rapture.
if he happens to leave here before me, I'm not doing it again. I said, because I know that there's nobody else that's going to treat me like he does. There's nobody else that's going to be as good to me as he is. So I
Amen.
wouldn't even try to find that. I would just, be whatever. So that's one thing. And so we enjoy peace with ourselves. And the other thing is we don't allow other people to come and bring toxicity and drama in our life. We don't care who it is.
Right.
I'm not gonna let my mama come and bring drama and toxicity in my life.
Hello, mother.
And I love her. I'm not gonna allow my children to come into my house and bring drama and toxicity. We're just not doing it because we enjoy our peace.
Hello, kids.
Peace is priceless.
Yeah. Even your jobs.
Yes.
I'm so happy to be at a place in my life, and being a boomer, a lot of us are already retired, and I'm glad I'm at the place where eh, I used to think there was such a thing as a dream job, but at this age, I know there isn't any, but I'm close to it. But even being close to it make me think from day to day, because I'm in a position, and me and Tammy is in a very good position to just walk away and retire and enjoy life. And some people say you're gonna have to have something to do in life. Hey, we love traveling. We love exercising, working out, what have you, but we love travel. And to be at the point in life, it's a certain amount of peace to go into work, and there's jerks everywhere. No job is has a shortage of it. But when you run into that jerk, you just think, and sometimes you speak out loud if you me. you know what? You just remind me that I'm so close to my retirement. I can collect from all these different residual incomes I have that are stashed up through life, and I might actually be making more than I make coming into work. And when you have that kind of peace in life, and it's priceless. And sometimes it's asked, well, why do you still do it? I said, well, uh, um, retired military teach you leadership, and a lot of times I feel like I have so much to offer, and I see the hunger on some of my coworkers, even uh, for knowledge, because you like knowledge, you perish,
Yep.
and I see the lack of knowledge, and some of us too stubborn to listen, and many of them think they're my equal in age or whatever have you experience, but I'm at the point in life where I know my experience count, and I know I can uplift somebody, and I can bring somebody along. So I'm there, and we done we have the piece of having a secluded space to build at, and we put that off a little bit, but we realize just well we've realized it for a while, but we realized we help a lot of people, but we wasn't totally at peace ourselves. We had a smaller place. When you move near the city, it's not quite as conducive as living away from the city. We left a nice big place to get a smaller place, to downsize a little bit financially and everything. And then we said, you know what? You can't take all that with you, so you need to enjoy life now. So we look at a large place, and we're just at that point in life. And you let us know on the screen, what would it take for you to notice your peace in life, or what are you holding on to that's keeping you away from that peace?
Yeah, that's
you
holding your
know
peace back from you.
and if you don't let us know on the screen, just think it out for yourself, or drop it in our inbox. Just let us know. We're curious, and maybe we could continue the conversation. Maybe we call it a part two or whatever we just talked about. But I like you to think about that, because um, with age and with experience comes a lot of knowledge, and you realize you had a lot of stumbles and falls and whatever, but you don't have to go through it. You don't have to repeat it. You can walk away and walk your own route. Now you know what I'm saying.
And you can learn, not only from your experiences, but if you're smart, like we do, we love talking to older people. We talk to older people and ask them, for some of their wisdom, because a lot of them have it. We say, well, what would you do if you were in the situation? And we talk to them and we ask them. My husband is famous about talking to especially older veterans, and asking for some of their wisdom and stuff, because a lot of times the wisdom is right there for you. You just need to ask people and open up, and that's some of the things. And also, one of the things I want to say is sometimes younger people can help you. So a lot of you older people, you discount talking to the younger people, but some of them have some wisdom and some things that they can help you with.
Many of them.
Many of them. And so
Yeah.
we are fortunate that we have younger friends, we have older friends, and it's an amazing thing because they help us in different ways. Like the younger ones, they can help us see a different perspective, because sometimes maybe that's all it takes for you, is just to see a different perspective, to just look at things differently.
True.
And so we try to really you know take these things into consideration. And I think I talked about this one time on a live before, about how you could listen to your kids will help you more than you think. Young kids, because a lot of times they're not corrupted yet, and they can see things a little bit clearer sometimes because they don't have all the stressors that you have. So I mean, I used to get, a lot of wisdom from my kids, and I think, it could be because I was, a young mother, not a super young mother, but I was young. And it could be that, we grew up a lot together, but I realized and recognized that they had wisdom about things. And, and I guess probably too, because my kids are both old souls. So they had a lot of wisdom and things that helped me when they were growing up, because I would ask them, or sometimes I would have asked a question from spirit, and the answers would come through my children. So you have to actually think about that as well, because a lot of times, people tell kids to shut up and discount what they say, but you have to really listen to them sometimes, because sometimes they'll have the wisdom and the information and advice and things that you need, and it comes clear and clean, without all the things that are attached to it sometimes that you get from other people. But peace is priceless.
It's really amazing that Tammy brought that out up. Uh, one of our sons, when he was 9 years old, he seen the excitement on my face. I did some time with the Teamsters back east, and I was an instructor, trainer, and all that stuff. I tried to stay away from management, but they seen the leadership skills from the military and kept me close, if you know what I'm saying. But at the same time, I was able to make a lot of money. But a lot of people don't know the Teamsters don't want you if you don't work. The only way the Teamsters, I'm getting off a little bit, but it all connects. The only way the Teamsters really want you, and the only way the Teamsters or unions can get in, is that it's some kind of unfairness going on, and it's hardworking people that does the Teamsters and union. That said, I was all excited for this new position with the Teamsters, and I was talking, and my son and some other people was around, and I said, yeah. I said, man, this is a lot of money. The overtime is going to be amazing. And out of the mouth of babes, my son, 9 years old, said, "Daddy," and he's genius level, regardless how we want to look at it, but he is even today. He said, "Daddy," he said, "why are you looking at a job for overtime?" And ever since that day, and he went from 9 to about 30 now, and I still think about that, and I'm happy now to be able to say to some of the coworkers who think that I'm in it for the money, when they say, "Oh yeah, it's money on the table over there, take that extra time." I said, "No, I don't do it for the money. If you need help, but that's what we military people do." I said, "I'm a team player, so I'll do it." I said, "But if you can get somebody else to do it, or you don't really need me to do it, I'm not doing it." But at the same time, it's just amazing who you can get your peace from, who you can get that wisdom from. It's in the world. It's all about knowledge, wisdom, understanding. If you grew up in Brooklyn, you know exactly what it's like to speak cipher. To speak in completion. It's and you just gain so much from, like Tammy said, the younger people are amazing, and don't rule out the children and the children, because when I say young people, they're amazing, and we both are hungry for knowledge. Tammy, she almost sleep with books. She everywhere we go, she's got a book. If she thinks she's got 5 minutes, our daughter's the same. One of our daughters the same way. She got 5 or 10 minutes. She got a book in her hand, and so we're knowledge seekers. And my thing is podcasts and whatever else I can listen to gain knowledge.
Audiobooks.
Yeah, audio books. And
I like those too.
sometimes I mess with Tammy because her and our daughter be like, "Oh, you should have read the book because the book is so amazing. The book is more." I said, And she don't know I be messing with her. But I said, well, the movie is like much easier. The book takes longer, and but I love reading too. You know, it's hard for me sometimes to complete a book fast like Tammy. Tammy have like 10 books I read too that she's in the middle or the beginning of. So I don't feel so bad because I like got one, maybe two, but I think I got one. It's been sitting there for a few months, you know, about quarter way of the 500 pages plus. But at the same time, we're knowledge seekers, and we get our peace from that. And Tammy brought up something else. We often get our peace from seeing older people also. When I run into older people, just like I ran into this guy, I think it was Sam's Club in Arizona, and he kind of shocked me a little bit because I'm usually the one to strike up the conversation, but he did. He says my birthday today. I think we was at the looking at the glasses, and he said, "Guess how old I am?" And I tried to be nice. So I thought he was like in his 60s. So I said, "Oh, 55." And he was tall. He stood like an athlete, you know. And he said, "I'm 92." And my heart almost dropped because I was almost in disbelief. And when I meet people like this, because we meet people like this, I said, "What is your secret?" He said, "Me and my wife both taught at the University of Arizona, and we both retired at 55." And and he said, "Retire early. I'm already past that." And you know, so that boat just left. That train left the station.
That ship sailed.
Yeah, ship sailed. And then he says, and I went vegan at 60 whatever, and that kind of left the, you know.
And then would he walk or do yoga or something with him?
Yeah, and then he said he exercised every day. He walked at least like 2 miles. That we're slowly building up, you know. First in our mind, then we get out there, you know. Uh, but then I asked about the finances. I said, "Did you ever run out of money?" Because I know a lot of people don't think how residual income work, because that's something we have and we're really proud of it. It it don't matter how you get it. You know, mine's come from different retirements, different other streams of income we do together. That's another thing. But he says, yeah, he said I almost did. He said we we tried to sail around the world when we didn't make it. It was rough, but we had fun. And he said, but I never ran out of money. But I learned a lot from just listening and talking, and from talking to people like that. We we tease when we talk about we eat meat or whatever, but we eat a small quantity of meat in comparison with a lot of people. But we up our vegetables, our fruits, and what have you, and our mind is always focused on what we can do to stay active, you know, and all this helps us. And a lot of time, I even show Tammy pictures, and I say, "Yeah," I said, "I got to get back like that." She said, "Well, you ain't that age no more." I said, "Well, watch." And I'm gonna post some pictures because when I grind, I grind. I don't believe in no pain, no gain type deal. But I know how to hit the gym when I have to, and it's so much out here where we don't have to hit the gym.
Yeah, you can hike and
Right,
these other things
right.
when it's not raining.
And we do it together because we both, you know. But at the same time, peace is wherever you can do, wherever you can find it. Um, I have a guy that I work with. His dad is 80 years old, and when he told me about his dad skiing and snowmobiling at 80, and going out on a boat fishing and stuff, I'd say, I'm definitely looking forward to being that person, and me and Tammy rocking it sexually, and uh, uh, close your ears, children, if you don't want to hear that word. But this is in an adult program for grown ups. But if you're listening in, but we're gonna rock it until until we don't stop.
No
I won't even say can't rock no more because I can't even imagine. Me and Tammy still we listen to people younger than us. People, when I say younger, probably in their 40s, early 50s, or whatever. And they say, "Oh, we're too old to go out." Me and Tammy, when we go out, we shut it down. You know, uh, Ta- Tammy just get cleaner than the board of health, and uh and we just get out there. We don't care. We're the only people on the dance floor. And sometimes it shocked me that I can't do the move that I used to do. But I be trying, and sometimes I know it be looking good because you know Brooklyn we've always represented. I tell you, I'm going off the tangent, but we went all around the world, 20 something different countries in the military. And back in the day, we would form a circle anywhere, and we would just break or break dance or whatever. And the foreigners overseas kind of picked it up from people like us because we would take it over there. And New York, we had a radio station called WBLS. And we even had mixtapes from there. We would take to DJs all over the world, and then someone would get upset because they would think it was all music, and then in the middle of the record, in the middle of the party or the sounding club, it would be WBLS. It was like New York's number one station back in the day. But that said, baby, you got anything to add to peace? Because peace is man,
priceless.
yeah, and we paid that price. So some of you don't have to. Just follow the format. It's out there. It's out there for you. Just
Yeah,
follow.
and say, you know what, and just make a decision that is important in your life. Because one thing I know is that a lot of times you don't have peace because you don't call for it, and you don't know that you can have peace because you have so much stuff going on in your life. So many people pulling at you and trying to get something from you, or you working like a mule, you know like David was talking about, looking at a job and looking at how you can make money because of the overtime, but you don't realize, you're shorting your life with that kind of stuff. And it can come back on you and cause all kinds of problems with your health. And I know that well, but you worked and worked and worked and worked and worked, and you didn't even realize that you didn't have peace. Because one thing for me is when I realized how important that was in my life, I started making the changes and the things that I needed to do in order to get that peace. Because that is the thing. It's like if you don't start to make the changes in your life that you need so that you can get peace, but the first step is deciding that that's important in your life and looking at the fact that you don't have it at that time. If you got all kinds of things happening, all kinds of drama in your life, you got toxic people in your life, and I don't care who it is. That's the thing. People will let their children run amok in their life, and even grown children. Now, little children is a whole nother thing, but grown children running amok in your life, oh no, no, no. That is not acceptable. And that's the thing, that's the place that you have to get to, where you don't let nobody come in your life and destroy your peace.
Yeah.
And people are really big on allowing their family members, their mama, their daddy, their sisters, their brothers, their cousins, all kinds of people to bring all kinds of drama and toxicity in their life and destroy their peace. I refuse. We are not doing it. We have people that come in our life, and I'm like, no, we're not having that. No, because we have peace here. And this is important to us. And we're not going to allow anybody to destroy, to disturb our peace. We're not doing it. And you can make that decision, because really it's just a decision. It's a decision that you make, that, peace is important to you. And what I say is peace is priceless. So if you got to cut folks out your life in order to have peace, cut them out. Let them go. And I say that, and I'm not saying it like it's a super easy thing, because that stuff is hurtful. But when you do it, oh my God, you will have peace, like the Bible says, that passes all understanding. You know, you won't even understand the level of peace that you'll have when you set yourself free. And that's the thing. It's and I see it so much. That's why I'm talking about it. I have people, I've seen it in clients. They've come to me, and a lot of times the only thing they need to do is cut people out their life. And sometimes I have to tell them that, and it's hard for me because, tell somebody they got to cut somebody out of their life that's family or whatever, but when I see it, because of how intuitive I am, when it comes to me and I see it, I have to tell them. Now they can take that and do what they want with it, but I have to share it. And many times they'll call me back and say, you know what, you were right. That person really didn't mean me any good. And they was my cousin or my brother, whoever, whatever. But when they bring peace and drama and toxicity, shut it down. Let it go. Let it go. Just make a decision that your peace is priceless. It's worth whatever you need to do in order to have that peace. Yeah, that's it.
With that said, we just enjoy our peace. I just went through a few texts with my mother-in-law, who I love so much. Uh, uh, she's the queen of queens on this planet Earth, and I was glad to be able to share with her how we both are at the point in our lives where you, indirectly, we don't worry about what people think, what people say, um, because we're totally in control of our own destiny. At this point in life, my mother-in-law had been in the medical field for over 50 years, and she goes back to do things most of the time, mostly being a mentor, to have somebody in your workspace or even in your space uh, uh, with that much wisdom is just a blessing. And I see the peace and relaxation that she get out of sometime going back, but she has a lot to offer when you're that way in life and you have a lot to offer. And I constantly listen and I read about these people now that are in their 80s, 90s, and even over 100,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still doing what they enjoy doing. Still staying active, and sometimes even in the workforce. That part, yeah. uh, but it's just peace. It's their peace, and I just enjoy seeing it. We're living at a time where it's we all know it's appointed unto man
Mm-hmm.
once to die and in judgment. But at the same time, um, we don't have to leave this world early. We can have our peace and decide to slowly or wean off certain medications, because the peace take the place of the medication. Of course, you do it with medical help or get a nature path like Tammy deal with. But it brings so much. It for me it even it, it helps me cut back up. My bloatness on my body just start leaving when my peace just take over, and I don't even take certain things. It's it, you know, just dieting and peace and exercise. It all ties in together. But you have to first get your mind right. Get your mind right with
Mm-hmm.
peace, And it's so important. We can't emphasize, because we've been on that boat. We've been, like Tammy said. I won't say anything bad about either one of our ex spouses, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have met, probably, unless it was a different lifetime. But but a lot of times when you're in those situations, you feel like you have to sacrifice your peace because you're trapped. But you'll find out different when you make the move. When you make the move for peace, things flow. The peace will help your chakras open up. It'll help your mind open up. It'll help your heart open up.
Help your nervous system.
It just does so much. And uh, I don't want to put his name out there, but somebody very dear to me, and he's family, and he don't realize how dear to me he is. When I seen his nerves starting to go at a very young age, it hurt my heart, because I knew what he needed, to help him. Because sometimes when you share the same blood, it tells you a lot. And he held on to it. He held on to the illness, and I'm hoping it don't affect him too much now in life. But it's so much peace is uh, um, out there for you. Um, be open to be open if you know somebody who can help you with it, because it's so important. Because if you don't have it, it's things that can take over. That's not kind to you, or your body, or your mind, or your life.
Yep.
So the peace we talk about, it is heaven on earth. It was a wonderful man that I grew up. I went to his church a few times with my dad as a little kid up in Harlem, New York. He was called Reverend Ike, and he's related to my wife here. And he used to say, your pie is not in the sky. And he talked about heaven on earth. And I've heard other preachers preach it, but he was one of the trailblazers that people people use an excuse to vilify, because they didn't understand. They didn't understand that uh, the God in you. They didn't understand the power we have, but he understood it like way ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Way before his time.
right, and that kind of stuff helped me. I was a little boy, and my dad was a positive thinking person. The books like Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking, and uh, even Think and Grow Rich when I was a kid. This was way ahead of its time. And I read those things that I didn't really understand what I was reading. But for you parents, sometimes you lay books around, the kids gain knowledge that you don't even realize, because that's how I was at 6 or 7 years old, just reading, picking up anything I could, and not understanding all the words, but reading enough to understand kind of what the book was saying. So that said, it's just I even hope the young man find his peace, because one of the things that I know he's missing, that bring me peace, was embracing my the young men in my life. No, no, sometimes they were just close friends, but mainly the family itself. And my sons, I, I tell them, no matter how old you get, one of my sons, he was 7. I think he was maybe 19 or 20 when he accepted. I said, if Jesus could kiss the disciples, I'm always kissing you on your cheek. So I'm gonna greet you with a kiss. And a lot of men don't know how to embrace or receive that. But you have to receive. You have to receive a touch.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's, of course, it's an appropriate touch. And sometimes it's not always from a woman that touched that kindness. And it used to mean a lot to me. I talk about it in past tense, because there's distance, but at the same time, it was a peace to just grab and hug, you know, this young man at 20 or 21. He just, when he didn't pull away, I was like, yo, man, you took the fun out of it. And he was like, well, I know how you are. So I just roll with it. But receive that. If you have a male, if you're a male and you have one in your life that shows you love like that, that's the God kind of love. That's the 𝐂𝐏 love. And that brings peace, you know. And but it's just amazing when I think about it. And I I think about doing that with all my sons because we both have children by different, but at the same time we embrace them all as one.
Yes.
And even when they don't give us the same thing back, we just give it to them, you know, and that's peace for us. We don't wait to be treated kind. I don't mean we get walked over, but
No,
we don't wait to
that's
be
all I
treated
meant.
kind.
So listen to what we're saying, and then think about what peace looks like for you, because that's another thing. Peace looks different for different people. The peace that we love might not be the peace that you like. Some people are used to chaos, and so they thrive in it, and that's their peace. So look at how you look at peace and what peace looks like for you. Because that's the thing. I never tell anybody about their peace. I say, find your peace. What does peace look like to you? Take some time if you need to meditate or if you need to journal on that thing so that you can see what peace looks like to you. Because sometimes, especially if you were raised in a chaotic household, you don't know what peace looks like. So you have to take time and find out what peace looks like for you, and how you navigate to get the type of peace that you need.
What do you have to let go of? What do you have to walk away from? It's not always that, and don't get out of this that you have to run away from something, but
Right.
because it took me years to walk away from a real harsh relationship, and it's mainly not because I enjoy being a punching bag. It's just that I had children, and I'm old school, and once they was almost grown, it happened. But at some point in life, you have to plan things, and you have to do whatever it takes. And that's not everybody's situation. I'm just talking about mine. Um, and I'm every day I wake up next to Tammy, and I'm able to hug, touch, kiss her, uh, um, stretch her leg, and just touch her feet with my feet when we're in bed. I count it a blessing, and it really is. And if you find somebody like that, and if that's what brings you peace, or you might be successfully single, and that's your peace. But just find your peace and let us know how it is. Uh, and Victoria, she's gonna find hers. It's there for you. Uh, um, and everybody else that's looking out there, it's there for you.
Hmm.
And we just enjoy life, and sometimes we get on here a little bit exhausted or tired. I pull the 12. If you count that up in real numbers, it's probably more like a 15, 16, 17, because you got to get ready, you got to travel and all this other stuff. So
Hmm.
that said, I'm blessed though because I work where it is where I get a vacation almost every week, but they don't need something additional. But 4 days on, 4 days off for me is a blessing. Some people don't like it, but I treat it like a vacation. And everybody I work with that know me practically, it's kind of used to me saying, "Hey, have a good vacation." I'm not in for it. I said 4 days of vacation. Imagine you getting 4 days off your job. You're gonna make it count. Me and Tammy do amazing things in 4 days. I think we've traveled to another country in 4 days. Victoria, British
We sure
Columbia.
did.
We just took a drive, drove our car onto a boat. If you never did that before, drove our car onto the boat. Met the uh, fell in love with this Canadian border patrol from
California.
California. She just did dual citizenship, and it was so beautiful in Victoria. She just decided to stay up there and work for the border patrol.
She had us thinking.
She really did. If she's out there, we still thinking because their employers treat them the way the rest of the world should, because the benefits, the retirement, the medical, it's just and she told us how close to retirement she was, but she was loving it. And we met so many Americans up there that just said, "Okay, America, you're okay, but we're gonna go here where the love is at," because Victoria, I'm getting on that because it's peace. When we got over there, yeah, it's beautiful, and we got over there, the traffic, everybody was respectable for the most part. Everybody flowed in traffic. We were smart enough not to stay downtown. Instead, I said, "You know what? I got one of them Holiday Inn club cards, so let's find a Holiday Inn." So we're like 15, 20 minutes away from downtown, paying half the price or less. And we just took our car. We saved on rental having our car. And we just parked and walked. And you talk about seafood, and I grew up around seafood.
Me too.
Yeah, Savannah and Coney Island. We back in the day, we just had fresh seafood right off the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never tasted that taste I tasted in Victoria any place else except when I was probably a child, a little bit in some places in the Navy. But the seafood was so fresh. It was like you could taste the ocean.
And the Chinese food.
Yeah.
Went to Little China.
The Chinatown. They say that's one of the oldest or something. But I even got a video walking through the alleyways down there.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But that's how we get our peace. We travel, go different places. We've been to, so far now, Canada and Mexico. We're gonna go over to the Virgin Islands because we have an invite, Dr. Marnie. Thank you. We still thinking about that. Thank you for joining us. But that's one of the ways that we have our peace. We love to travel, and travel is my love language.
Right.
So, and I tell people, I said the thing that I love about my husband is when his wife start getting crazy, he tell me to pack a bag and we go somewhere for the weekend or
frustrated
or for 2 days, 2 or 3 days he's off, and and it's just amazing, and I'm so grateful, and so that's a part of the way that we keep our peace.
Right.
So you ready to land this plane?
We'll land this plane. We coming in. Tell what's that? Mission Control.
Mission Control.
Yeah, we're coming in hot. We're ready to make this landing. Hey, again, thanks for all the love on TikTok, tapping and dropping the roses. We still have some more roses hanging out up there, up at the top of the screen. That is, and we thank you for the love on Facebook and YouTube, and we just thank all of you. We love you. We're distant hugging all of you, and
hope y'all have great weeks, magical weeks, magical. So we will see you next Sunday.
We hope.
Yeah.
Because
in theory,
for us, we just do what we feel and what we enjoy in life, and if for some reason we jump up on Sunday and decide to go to Victoria or Mexico or or Hawaii. We just do it. You know, we don't think twice. We just or in Puerto Rico
Yeah.
for all you Noricanos and
But we're not going to do that during hurricane season, so it's
a,
okay.
a friend of mine, and I was wondering. He just told me he got a buddy over there, and I said, "Do you know what's going on at the East Coast right now?" And but I don't know what the weather's like. If somebody know what the weather's like in Puerto Rico, I was kind of concerned because he's been there. He's been out there now for about a week, and I think he's got another week to go. And I was saying, might not be the best time. But that said, that's his piece though.
Mm-hmm.
And that said, we're gonna land this plane. We enjoy all of you, and it's been fun because we stayed off for a little while, but we actually miss it. We miss our family out here in the world wide web world, and we we love you all, and we're happy you stopped by to spend some time with us. You know, just to show us the honor, and
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Uh,
What you say, baby? Peace.
yeah. And for some of you, shalom and salam alaikum, and be blessed. And
Did we already have Yom Kippur?
yeah,
Okay. Last week.
my wife was talking about Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah. But to all of you that's celebrating anything, peace be with you.
Yes. Yes.
And that's it, man.
Yep.
Hey,
And good night.
and don't forget to go in the inbox and let us know where you're from and what you want to hear. And like I said, if you didn't catch us at the beginning, Savannah, Georgia, Brooklyn, New York, out here representing the greater Northwest now, and
The Pacific Northwest.
Pacific Northwest. That's all.
The PNW.
The PNW. If I knew the signs, I would throw them up. But I don't want to get flagged for. Yeah, I don't want to get flagged for throwing the wrong sign. But peace, y'all.
Yes, and good night.